Joshua's great choice, the eternal covenant engraved in Shechem. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, painting the sky in hues of amber and violet, the legendary leader Joshua summoned all the tribes to the valley of Shechem. His voice, which had once commanded the very walls of Jericho to fall, now resonated with the depth of a long life and an urgent, fatherly sincerity. Leaning his weight upon a worn wooden staff, he scanned the faces of the multitude, his eyes reflecting the fire of the setting sun. This valley was sacred ground, the place where the promise began generations ago, and now it was where the soul of a nation would be tested one last time. Joshua drew a steadying breath, preparing to deliver the narrative that would define their future. Joshua began to recount their epic journey, weaving a tapestry of memory for the listening crowd. He spoke of their ancestors, who once lived beyond the great river, and of the sovereign hand that led them out of the iron furnace of Egypt. He described the roaring Red Sea, parting like a curtain, and the long, grueling years of the wilderness, where they learned to walk by faith. Standing beside him, a seasoned elder named Azriel listened with a heavy heart, watching Joshua's weathered hands gesture toward the path they had traveled. To Azriel, this was more than history. It was a heart-wrenching testimony of the invisible strength that had carried them through every impossible storm. As his story reached its climax, Joshua's tone shifted, becoming as sharp and clear as a trumpet blast. He challenged the people to stop wavering between the comforts of the past and the flashy distractions of the present. "Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve," he cried, his voice echoing off the surrounding hills. Then, he delivered the words that would become an eternal anchor for every family present. "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." It was the ultimate declaration of a leader who knew that the greatest legacy is not land or gold, but a heart fully surrendered to the divine. The air crackled with the weight of his words, and a roar of affirmation rose from the crowd. "We will never forsake him," they shouted in unison. Among the people, the elder Azriel reached out to a young man named Jair, their hands meeting in a firm, symbolic grip of shared commitment. Joshua, however, did not let them settle for easy words. He warned them that such a pledge required more than a moment of emotion. It required a lifetime of discipline and integrity. Under Joshua's piercing yet loving gaze, Azriel and Jair felt the gravity of the moment, realizing that their promise was a bridge connecting the wisdom of the old with the strength of the new. To seal the day's events, Joshua took a massive smooth stone and heaved it upright beneath the sprawling branches of a great oak tree. He declared that this stone would be their witness, a silent observer that had heard every word of their covenant. Under the deep, cool shade of the ancient tree, the stone stood as a permanent guardian of their identity. Joshua looked at Jair, who was watching the scene with awe, and offered the young man a gentle, knowing smile of peace. His mission was complete. As the wind whispered through the oak leaves, it carried a question for all generations. On the final page of your own journey, what name will be engraved as the center of your life?